OnlyFacts Sports Podcast, episode 31.
31.
Road to 5K.
Road to 100.
Let's get to 5 first, but road to
100 episodes.
Road to 100 episodes. Road to 5K. We're over halfway there towards 5K. We're obviously not halfway there. What percentage of the way are we there?
31%.
Okay, I'm just double checking because some people, the education system. You.
Why me?
You're the only person here. What do you mean, why you? Who else am I going to talk to?
So you said some people.
Yeah, if I was talking to you, I'd say you.
Fair enough.
Would I not say you?
You probably.
Exactly.
You already know my education.
Exactly. So, yeah, man, listen. Last week was a kind of a flatter week in boxing. This week, flatter. We're pausing flatter. Flatter week.
Maybe not. Maybe that's a stretch. Maybe that's a stretch.
Yeah, don't stretch around me. Pause on that. That's what I'm doing now, bro. Man, try to pause me. I'm just trying to. I was gonna say something crazy. I'm not like, Uno, you know the rest, blood. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Episode 31. Last week wasn't a super entertaining week for sport. Obviously, Arsenal dropped points. Man City gained on them a little bit. Smoked to Liverpool.
And there's bare talk about whether that was offside as well. It was obviously offside.
The Virgil van Dijk goal?
Yeah,
I don't think it was. The player is standing in an offside position.
And I think he's interfering with play.
I don't think he's interfering with play.
I feel like if he's not there, Edison dives earlier.
That's perfectly fine. But then if Edison wasn't even in goal, but Donnarumma. But if that's the case, we saw Ake's goal that wasn't ruled offside when he was interfering with play.
No, that was offside as well.
Okay, cool. So the argument is consistency.
Of course.
So that's what it is. But it didn't make a difference anyway because that man got smoked. Like by the end of the game, Pep was like, "Give them the goal. Who cares?" You know, he didn't literally say that, but it's like it's not. You man they got smoked and they weren't the same Liverpool. So that's what it is. But this week we've got international duty.
So there's hardly any football. But
not a lot of football. But
for English.
Yeah.
This is the biggest week in boxing for England. I would arguably say.
Well, it's big week for English sport. Period. Boxing, international duty.
But I want to start, because it's this week, right?
Are English people upset that it's two immigrants are the biggest fight in England?
No, they're not immigrants.
The sons or grandsons of immigrants are the biggest fights in
no,
biggest
I
fight in
don't think
the
English
UK.
people are upset about that because they claim them as their own.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, okay.
Bro, that's one thing I've learned.
I think I might consider myself a bit of a failure if white English people start to claim me as their own. I don't think I would want that.
But I think both Eubank and Ben,
for them it makes sense because it's more profitable for them. Do you know what I'm saying? But it's like,
what other culture would they be part of?
But they don't need to be. For me, you don't need to be. We're going to discuss this in more depth on OnlyFacts Extra, so go over there. But for me, as an individual, I don't need to be claimed by a community. So if I was a boxer and let's say I wanted to come out with a Jamaica flag and all of Jamaica said, "Screw you, you're not one of us, we don't claim you," I would say, "Screw you back. I'm still coming out with my flag. I don't need you to claim me. I'm cool."
But I feel like in boxing specifically, being claimed by whatever
a community,
what community, gypsy community or traveller community,
they don't buy pay-per-views.
Well, but you know what I mean, like Mexican people, Puerto Rican,
aligning yourself to some community is going to make you more money.
People be just aligning themselves with, just coming up with different Bolton.
Do you know what I just realised that pop was?
What?
Is that a balloon? That's the second one I've heard.
Yeah, it might be.
Oh, no. I've tried to do a surprise for someone with the balloons. No, I don't think so. I don't know what that is. It's your fault. You blew them up.
I blew them up.
Maybe you blew them up too tight. Pause. Oh, my God.
Oh, my face.
Let's get into it. Chris Eubank, Conor Benn 2. We discussed a little bit before, but let's cover this real quick. Is this fight necessary? No? I would kind of somewhat agree that the answer is no. So we don't have to stay on that for too long. But let's break it down.
I want to say though, I've been seeing Eubank doing the rounds, and I want to address this. This is something I really do want to address.
Might be a pause there, but go on.
Eubank Senior went on
Talksport,
and he went on the Sun Sport as well. Shout out to Sun Sport because their panel was actually really good. George Groves and Carl Froch. was really entertaining.
I love George Groves, obviously,
Really,
West London.
He's really good as a commentator.
George Groves is a great commentator, a great analyst, but also he's not like aggressive, like I'll fight you, but he's not scared to take the conversation wherever it needs to be taken.
Why I found him so good was because in his retirement, there's a level of honesty to it. Like,
he's always been that way.
No, but obviously as a fighter, there's a level of showmanship.
Yeah.
And that goes with the territory. But as a pundit, he doesn't care about how he appears to speak. And he doesn't speak as, well, I was a professional, I am a
100%, yeah.
I'm speaking based, well, this is my experience, or this is what happened to me. I'm open to hear what happened to you, but this is what happened to me.
Yeah.
And majority of the time, and Eubank was saying, it's valid what you're saying. But...
And George Groves was the only person I saw that was able to get that type of response from Eubank.
100%. Yeah. You're 100% right. And he was talking about was the fights against the rules. The fights against the rules. And Eddie Hearn and Spencer Oliver, Paul Smith,
Simon Jordan,
all of them.
Who's the host?
John White. What is his name's White? Jim White.
There you go.
Jim White they were all saying, well, Eubank signed it. He's a full-grown adult. Eubank signed it. And they were like, he must be able to keep himself safe. I'm like, are you guys stupid? He's a boxer. Boxers take risk for money. That's what they do for a living. So if someone's offering him money for something that he thinks he can do, it's not for him to say, whether that's safe or not. Boxers fight for a living. I've seen boxers who are out on their feet, done, wanting to continue fighting.
Yeah.
It's not down to them. When I hear referees say, protect yourself at all times, the only person who protects himself at all times is the guy that fought FA Jaguar. Just walk right out.
Yeah.
Bro, you can't expect a boxer to turn down money for their own safety. If that was the case, they wouldn't fight.
It's also, people have this view of boxing, but that is the same for every sport, by the way. We talk about Rashford, we talk about Saka. Saka, in my opinion, has been limping playing for Arsenal. He's still going to play for international duty. He shouldn't be there, but he's going to. Rice playing for international duty. Right. I looked up, we were talking, there was a whole thing I saw online about Zidane and these great players. You know, people like Rance and other people complain the technical side of the football has gone. It's all about athletes now. I looked up the amount of minutes that like Zidane played in a season versus Rice in a season or something like that. Rice playing like not quite double, but like 1.7 times. He's playing way more football. So it's having an impact. Most athletes, we've got American football players of CTE. They are flying into challenges. Rugby players at youth level in football now, they've taken away heading the ball. It's down to the governance of the sport. What other sport do we tell players, you protect yourself? No, if a player is repeatedly fouling and going in for 2-footed challenges in football, the ref needs to card the player. You can't, it's never down to the athlete to protect themselves.
That's why when they were saying, well, he's a full-grown adult, he should be protecting himself.
Because about everybody.
Because
about everybody.
What, as you always say, are you new to Earth?
Yeah. Are you new here?
Are you new here? When does fighters protect themselves?
Yeah.
If that's the case, they wouldn't fight. Bro.
They wouldn't fight, yeah. The best protection is to not fight.
Facts.
Yeah.
You're asking.
Go sit in an office.
Exactly. This is a guy who's already rich.
Yeah.
So if he's willing to risk his health to fight, when someone offers him a couple million to make weight, he's gonna do it. Bro.
Yeah, exactly. If what we're saying is once you are in the fighting mindset, I've boxed, I've had to make weight before. Once you're in the mindset, I'm walking down the street, I'm 5'8", about 180 pounds, and I look at someone who is 5'9" and 185 pounds, and I think, I can take this guy, and you might pay me 50 grand to fight him. Once I fight him and I beat him, and you say that was 50 grand, now there's another guy. But this guy's 5'10", 1 inch taller, 2 inch longer reach, and 8 pounds heavier.
But you're offering more.
But you're offering me 300 grand. I'm going to go, what is the gap? There's a risk, but is the risk worth the gap between the 250,000? I think it is. Now, if I can beat that guy, now you say to me, well, there's a guy who's 5'11", 200 pounds. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep going. This is the nature of people. We live in England. This is a country of addiction. We consume more cocaine than any other country in the world, bar America. Or like we're like number one for like per capita cocaine consumption, alcohol consumption, cigarettes. We've got 15-year-old gyal vaping. We cannot control ourselves. When I say we, I don't mean you as an individual. I mean we as a society cannot control ourselves, especially when there's tons of money thrown at people. Do you know what I mean? In no other sport do we say, you go and look after yourself.
And why it's so annoying is because I'm seeing Chris Eubank Sr. tried to explain himself and say it's against the rules. And he's very articulate in terms of... Wait. Yeah. He's very articulate in terms of the fact that he does have a very wide vocabulary. But in terms of making points and having an argument, you might have a wider vocabulary than me. But it doesn't mean that you can present an argument better than me.
Sometimes having too wide of... I don't think it's a vocabulary thing. I think he actually speaks more in parables than getting to the point. True. But it's not even... Sometimes having a wide vocabulary can harm you because you're saying in 20 words what could be said in 4. Do you know what I'm saying? Your girl says, do I look fat in this dress? The answer is yes. You're going to start giving that all type of explanation. Sometimes just quicker, just say, yeah, it's not flattering. Done. Do you know what I'm saying? But I do feel like he's always done this. And I felt like Simon Jordan and Jim White were very... patronizing for a start, but also very uncharitable. You know that this person talks this way, whether people want to say it's CTE, whether people feel like it's promotion. Do you see he started off with like a poem? He's dropping some gems in the poem. If you maybe it's because we're both Jamaican, he's Jamaican. Jamaican people tend to speak that way. Do you mean you could say to a Jamaican in the street, how do I get to the station? Do you know what I'm saying? And they're going to come with some parable of like, realistically, if you walk, wherever your feet take you is really where you want to go. So, but that's not what I asked you. But you
can walk into a Rasta man is wherever he's like, oh, where are you off to today? Well, like I'll give you an example.
Yeah.
I saw a black Rasta man. And he's like, I was like, oh, what do you do for a living? I'll do the same thing as you for a living. I was like, I swear down. He's like, yeah, eat, breathe, sleep. I'm like, bro,
100%. So I do think I did think there was a bit of a cultural difference there between, because I think that if he was talking to a black presenter, I think they would have understood a lot of what I think that genuinely, as much as I don't like Simon Jordan and Jim White, I think they're talking two totally different languages. Right. I don't think they understood what he was saying. When he's saying it's against the rules, they're saying, well, it's not against he's not saying it's literally against the rules. He's saying there is governance in place. The responsibility is on the governance of the sport. And what does it say about people that are going to profit from a day? Sorry to cut you. I've listened to some, it sounds really cringy, but I listen to some like motivational speeches when I go gym sometimes, yeah. And one of them is Mike Tyson. And they said to Mike Tyson now at 60 years old, they said to him, would you fight Tyson Fury? He said, I'll fight a fucking lion if you pay me enough.
Yeah.
And he's not, the thing is with Mike Tyson, you know he's not joking.
Yeah.
The governance is on us to not allow that to happen.
But I slightly go a step further and say it is against the rules. It's against the rules because Conor Benn is a 147 pounder who's fighting at 160. He personally is putting himself in a position negatively to fight at a weight he shouldn't be fighting at.
Yeah.
So if a 147 fighter be allowed to fight a 160 fighter if that 160 fighter if they weighed in at the fight and he weighed in 187, he weighed in 154, that fight wouldn't be allowed. But because the rules allow you to weigh in a day before, people have now put themselves in a physical position where they can make the weight but still not be fighting at the right weight. And when he's saying it's against the rules, it's because the rules currently have been put in place where people can manipulate themselves. They can manipulate their physical attire, or not attire, physical stature, and their physical, their weight, the water that's in their body. They can manipulate all of these things within their body to make the weight. Now, how they do it, whether it's against the rules or not, it's irrelevant. When he's saying it's against the rules, he's talking about the fact that you've got a 147 pounder fight and a 160.
I think that's the point he didn't make clear though, because when I'm looking at it, when I was listening to it, and I thought to myself, there was a moment because I was listening to it while I was cleaning the house and stuff. And there was a moment I stopped and thought, they're not realizing he's not just talking about the well-being of his son. He's talking about the well-being of Ben.
Both of them.
He's talking about the well-being of Ben as well. Like people are looking at him thinking, oh, well, you're Eubank. No. I'm talking about the other guy. The other guy's putting himself in a difficult position. And one of the things that we don't do well in boxing, and it's all about entertainment, spectacle, whatever, but this is one of the reasons why some kind of casual boxing fans kind of annoy me sometimes. There are levels in boxing for a reason. These guys are not world champions and they're not even elite level boxers, because the counter argument might be, we saw Canelo taken to school by Crawford and he went up by a big weight class. That's true. But these guys, well, a big weight jump. That's true. But these guys, Crawford's also at the elite tier. Do you know what I mean? And if this is Premier League, these guys are Championship, maybe League One.
But that's why, for me, I feel like it's even more unfair. Because when we're talking about rules, I wouldn't mind Crawford, who is the best in his weight class, fighting someone and putting himself at risk against a guy who is skill-wise not on his level, because it's counteracting the physical disparity.
Yeah.
If
Edgar Berlanga fought Bivol,
Jail Patel,
yeah.
Did you and my point? We're talking about a guy who is at the top of their level.
Yeah.
Conor Benn is, as it stands, European level at best. We don't know if he's world level.
Yeah.
Eubank, at the very least, we know he's fought at world level before. George Groves a world champion. Billy Joe Saunders world champion. Yeah. These guys are at the top level. He may have fallen short, but he's fought at that level. Yeah. We don't know Conor Benn has. So he's not even fighting guys who's bigger than him. He's fighting someone that's bigger than him and fought at a better level than him. Yeah. So for me, the reason why I feel like what Eubank Sr. was saying was overlooked is because it doesn't set a good precedent. Mm-hmm. Because this is the biggest fight in boxing in this country. The biggest fight in boxing this year in America, outside of Canelo and Crawford, you could make even an argument that it would have been Jake Paul versus Tank. And again, we're looking at the same thing. We're basically...
Even more extreme version.
We're basically saying, as long as the money's right, we're willing to entertain foolishness.
Yeah.
And for me, the only reason why I'm willing to entertain it is because genuinely, I don't think highly of either of these fighters. In terms of who... I don't think highly of these fighters. But if I was on the side of the British Boxing Board of Control, outside of money, what's the point of this fight?
When you say what's the point as well, for people that don't understand what we're saying we haven't learned anything about Conor Benn. Let's say Conor Benn goes in and loses as we expect. We haven't learned anything new about Conor Benn. He was expected to lose. If Eubank wins as we expect him to win, we haven't learned anything new about Eubank. Conor Benn doesn't move up or down in the 147 rankings. Chris Eubank doesn't move up or down in the 160 rankings. Nothing has happened. Nothing has happened anywhere. We're at the world of boxing is back where it was yesterday.
Facts.
So what was the point?
So what was the point? Other than money.
Yeah. After a fight, we're supposed to have some information. Eubank and Crawford gave us information. Even Zach Parker, Buatsi, which is way lower level than Canelo and Crawford, gave us information. It gave us some level of information, mainly that certain governing bodies are crooked. But do you mean or certain people? But you're going to get some information. This fight gives us no information whatsoever.
And the reason why is when you're Eddie Hearn's getting a lot of slack. He's getting a lot of slack. But I genuinely feel like the slack is justified. The slack is justified because you've advised Conor Benn to go into a fight 2 weight classes above where there's no benefit in terms of his career. He could have been fighting at 147 and potentially would have had a chance of winning a world title. You didn't want him to do that. You want him to fight Conor Eubank 2 times and then move back down to 47 and fight at the elite level straight away. Bro, where's the safety precautions here? Yeah. Where is the safety precautions?
And we know, as Shane said before, we know how badly that's gone in the past when fighters go up and then go back down. It's very rare that they're the same.
He hasn't fought at 147 since 2021.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think it's 4 years. Because he had the egg situation or that,
the egg situation, and then when he was fighting at 54.
And his dad was talking about. Did you see his dad talking? His dad was saying that he's had really bad mental health issues and that obviously with the egg situation he wasn't able to work. He was suffering from depression. Blah 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 blah.
Why would you do?
So he's probably going to lose on Saturday. If he goes back down to 147, he's not the same. If he can get a fight with Shakur Stevenson, which again he shouldn't really have. He actually hasn't proved himself or earned a world title shot. So he
shouldn't fight Barrios.
Or Barrios then. Even if he loses to Barrios, and Barrios we say is not a great world champion, so he stands a chance of winning. But if he loses, then for the sake of money, we have ruined his career and lost 3 fights back to back to back. And then yes, he will have some money, but if he already was having mental health issues when he couldn't get a fight for 15 months, who's going to fight him then? When he's washed and his name is Shakur Stevenson going to fight him when his name does nothing? We're seeing, that's why his dad was talking about Ricky Hatton and stuff like that. Eubank is saying, I can see Ben's path, not now, but 12 months from now, 18 months from now, 24 months for a young man, 24 months from now, how many man do you, we're different because we're Jamaican, how many man do we see with crippling depression that if they knew 24 months ago the decisions that you're making today are going to lead to this depression, would they still make those decisions? Probably not. Even if they had the money in the bank.
What Conor Benn is doing is borderline suicide, career suicide.
Yeah.
Bro. It's borderline career suicide from something that I promise you, like I genuinely promise you, it's not worth it, bro. So when people are saying, firstly, the fight's shit. The fight is genuinely shit. It's a shit fight, bro. Like, forget, and this is what Rance was saying. It's a shit fight. In terms of, like, level, we're talking about boxing level. It is a shit fight. You got one guy who's borderline decent technically. You got one guy with a bag of heart and bag of energy. That's it. There's no ingredients to make a good spectacle. So that's the first thing. Neither of them do I think are elite fighters or future pound for pound fighters. Neither of them. So when we're genuinely just doing this for an idiot narrative, a narrative that really and truly was solved the first time around, bro.
But the thing is, like, we look at the state of British boxing.
Sorry, 1 second. Just to cut you off, just to say, if your son is in that situation and let's say both of them went through like physical damage in the first fight, why would I want you to do it again for something that's not like this time? It's even worse because this time you lost the first fight. Cool, you bounce back. You can go again. Go on with your career. It was a great fight. You could use that fight to leverage your career.
Can I just say, this is why I said to you the first time, you were a disgrace for being excited about the fight post egg slap. Remember I said to you, because you are someone that knows boxing. So if you were excited by the egg slap and that made you more interested to watch it, what does that do for the casual fan?
No, that's different though.
Why is that different?
Because for me, I'm a reactionist person. I can't control.
That's the majority of boxing fans.
Facts. I can't control whether a fight happens or not. So in my mind, I'm like, well, whilst the fight's happening, am I going to be entertained? That spectacle was
that's a terrible excuse, because what I'm saying is you have enough of a boxing mindset. I expect you to see the spectacle, enjoy the spectacle for the spectacle, and then put your hat back on. So if Tank pulled out a strap at the Jake Paul press conference or something like that, you might enjoy the spectacle for the spectacle, but that shouldn't change your mind on the fight. You would still come down from that adrenaline rush and be like, that was sick, but all banter aside, this fight's still ridiculous. Do you know what I'm saying? But it's because people can't do that we've got this second fight in the first place, because everything has to be sold by storyline and by narrative.
Well, whilst on this topic, obviously, as we speak, the public workouts going on, I think the press conferences are, well, this is probably dropping tomorrow. So if you're watching it, the press conference will be at roughly around the same time. What shenanigans do you think Eubank's going to have this time around? Because if we're being honest, the first time it was the egg slap, and then obviously cutting off Eddie Hearn, and then he brought up the ambulance stuff. What do you think he's going to be doing this time?
I think he'll carry on the same thing. I think he'll talk about the weight, and he'll talk about, I don't know. He'll bring up his kids now and say that his kids. He's got twins. He's got twins coming. He'll say that he's doing this for his kids and we have to put our lives on the line for our kids and blah blah blah. Do you know what I mean? He's just going to chat in it. I honestly don't enjoy listening to him chat. I enjoy watching Eddie and Ben get frustrated, but if he wasn't linked to them, if he did like a Piers Morgan interview on his own or something, I probably wouldn't. I wouldn't watch it. Do you know what I mean? For me personally, it's the call of response that's interesting and entertaining. Like Grovesy, obviously, he's got that West London sophistication and class that all us West London man have. Do you know what I'm saying? But I could listen to Grovesy talk. Do you know what I'm saying? I wouldn't listen to my man talk, really, for me personally. But some people say, oh, he's an amazing character. Do you know what I mean? And you brought up Tank and Davis. I haven't seen a single major boxing publication or sports broadcaster like TalkSport or anyone like that denounce the fight and talk about how ridiculous it is. Do you know what I'm saying? But that's what we're here to do, because it's OnlyFacts Sports. Do you know what I'm saying? And this is why I like this channel, because there's not a lot of channels you've been on in the past or I've been on in the past where we could talk about the truth. We're going to cover it because we need the views, we need the viewership, we're trying to grow the channel. So we will be live, and maybe you could say we're being hypocritical and we're part of the problem. But But while we're covering it, we will. Well, Tank is now not going to fight Jake Paul, but while we were covering it, we would say this is patently ridiculous. Do you know what I mean? And Shane has been that way for influencer boxing from the very beginning. Even when we covered Tommy Fury, KSI, Shane's just like, this is trash. Do you know what I mean? I'm here to cover it because I've been asked to come here, but this is not good. What I'm not going to do is sit down and pretend that this is good.
Like this is good. But at least with that, this fight,
that made more sense. They're closer to the same size. Tommy Fury's a low-level boxer. It's all
make your money, bro. Make your money.
Yeah.
And it was blatantly about money. I'm hearing these guys talk our legacy and all of that, bro. Come off it, bro. Come off it, because let's be real. Eubank is a more financial. He's probably outside of if Crawford doesn't move down to 168 for Janabek, Erislandi, Lara, and Adames, the biggest financial payday for all of their careers will be Eubank. So him getting a world title ain't that difficult, bro. If Ben Shalom, when he was with Sky, offered any three of them a world title fight, he's getting it. They ain't getting that much money anyway. So it's not like he couldn't get those fights.
Adames has had a little touch of that Saudi money. A
little bit, but this fight was in the build up before then.
Yeah.
That
fight had happened the first time.
Regardless, Eubank wouldn't struggle to get a world heavyweight title. The money that's
world heavyweight title.
A world middleweight title.
Yeah.
He wouldn't struggle to get an opportunity to fight for it.
Yeah.
There's no intention to fight for it.
Yeah.
They both have zero. I know Conor Benn's been saying, he is gonna go for a world title straight after. I'm like, if the boxing board of the WBC, WBA, WBO, or IBF allow Conor Benn to fight for a world title after 2 back-to-back losses and not fighting for 147 for so long, I'll be embarrassed, bro.
Well, prepared to be embarrassed because prepared to be embarrassed because it's probably. I mean, we're already going to see Buatsi fight Yard regardless. Do you know what I mean? So there's a chance
for a world title though.
If Yard wins.
True.
That's what I was going to say. If Yard wins, there's a chance that, to me, not even to me, factually, he is outthrown and outlanded by Zach Parker. Whether that wins you the fight or not, there's the controversial point. But he is outthrown and outlanded by CompuBox stats by Zach Parker across 12 rounds and could potentially go into a world title fight against Anthony Yard if Yard beats Benavidez. What is happening? What is happening in the sport that I love? What is actually happening? Do you know what I'm saying?
What do you think of the fight itself, though?
It should be the same. It should be the same.
You think it makes a difference? You think? Well, how can Conor Benn win this fight?
He can't.
You don't think so?
No.
I actually feel like he can.
Maybe if Eubank's aged overnight.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like a lot of it comes down because the truth is Conor Benn isn't a great fighter, but neither is Chris. So they're both gonna make a lot of flaws. But it's just like I also think Conor Benn is.
But we expect Chris to be more tidy. The last fight partly was only so action packed because Chris made it action packed. He could have made it really tidy and made it a shutout.
I think that's why I went and got Bowman.
And with Bomac back in his corner, it will be closer to a shutout. We might see some slugfest in at 11 and 12, but that will be when he knows he's clear. He knows he's miles clear on the cards.
Facts.
Do you know what I mean?
What do you think about Conor Benn saying that he's going to come a bit more like passive and box his way through the fight?
It's great. Then he loses by even more because he literally can't do that. Also, he hasn't got a choice. You've hit this guy with your best shots. Everyone knows that you had this banned substance in your system, and miraculously, I'm not saying it helped you get knockouts, but since that got found, you haven't knocked anybody out and you haven't really looked great. So then you've gone in and fought Chris and you've thrown your best shots and you're still bragging about how in the third or the fourth you cracked him and he looked wobbled, which is partly true, but you didn't crack him and wobble him again for the next 8 rounds. It's not a positive from me as a boxer if I hurt you in the 4th and from the 4th to the 12th I can't knock you down or I can't really put a dent in you, because at no point did Chris look like he was going to go down apart from when the final bell went more pure to down to exhaustion. But if with Bomac in his corner, Chris will be able to measure his energy output a lot better.
I just, if they, like, when I heard Bomac speak, I'm like, this
Ben could get stopped this fight.
He could. Because he's going to have less enthusiasm. So when it gets tough, there's no point to continue. Especially,
like we said, it's the curse of the Riyadh cards as well. I know this isn't necessarily Riyadh season, or is this Ring?
It's Ring.
It's Ring. We know with Turkey involved as well, man are getting promised fights ahead of time. So if he knows, like we said, there is a world where he loses this fight and it doesn't actually impact him because he goes on to a world title fight next. So if you already know that, when the fight gets really tough, Do you know what I mean? What we
I don't
actually...
think he can afford to quit, though.
It comes down to his ability to act.
When I watched, when I listened to Bomac speak, I'm like, yeah, this fight's dead. Because Bomac was like, oh, we're off the knockout comes, but we're winning by any means necessary. I'm like, yeah, this is dead.
Bomac always says that, man.
He's literally, obviously, you made the comparison before, but he's literally the Arteta. Obviously, he's elite, but he's that Arteta, bro.
Yeah.
He ain't taking
no
risk,
risks,
bro. When Crawford was taking him, he's like, bro, you don't have to do this.
Yeah, big bad thing. He moves like a pro-black man that's trying to stop two black men from fighting in the street. My brothers, we ain't got to do this. Brother, we ain't got to do this. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what it is.
Bomac just that, yeah, let's just get this work done.
Yeah.
Nice and easy, bro. Like, this is going to be so comfortable. The only way Ben would have won is if Eubank was reckless, but I don't see that happen.
Yeah, I think he'll be more measured. I think he'll make weight a lot more comfortably.
And even if Ben decides to box, that's even worse.
It's even worse.
He's saying he's going to be a bit more...
You can't box.
I'm just trying to think if there's a way he could win, but
if he can hurt him, but Eubank knows that you can't hurt him, and with Bomac, you're probably going to land on me less. So the only way for you to stop me, the only way for you to win is if you can hurt me. You're now saying that you're not going to come in with the intention of hurting me, and I'm with a coach with the aggression to try and hurt me, and my coach now is even more defensive. So so there's way less chance you're going to hurt me. That's your only chance of winning. Sorry. Yeah. So that's just what it is. I know you wanted to talk about DAZN.
Yeah, facts.
And their
DAZN's shenanigans recently, bro. Like,
yeah.
Firstly, we spoke about it last week, and we spoke about how DAZN done the preview, and they done it without Ade, and they made that Josh Brother do it, which is where it is. And obviously they launched a pay-per-view announcement it's not been announced, but Derek Chisora and Dylan White's on pay-per-view madness. I'm just wondering...
That might be the worst pay-per-view headline fight post-COVID.
One of the worst I've ever seen. That is bad, bro.
I think that's the worst post-COVID.
That is bad.
I think it's the worst.
Probably.
I think it's actually the worst.
This is a company that said they were killing pay-per-view.
I think it's the worst. Like, this is a... Because this isn't even the same Dylan White. This isn't even like Dylan White v. Povetkin. That was closer to like a Parker Wardley. That was like... Was White Povetkin pay-per-view? That was like... I don't mind... Really, I want to see world titles be pay-per-view, but I don't mind like a final eliminator, especially if it's a final eliminator of people that are entertaining. White and Povetkin, super entertaining. Wardley and Parker, less entertaining, but still the same level and stature. Still level and stature of that fight. But Chisora, White, two people that are basically retired. And when I say basically retired, I mean if they never fought again, nobody... If they never fought...
Final fight.
But as I'm saying, like, when I say basically retired, there are some people who have a final fight, but they're still at the top. If they never fought again, and we didn't hear from them for the next 5, no one would ask, where are they?
Yeah, facts.
People are asking, where's AJ?
People are
asking, where's Spence? Where's Charlo? Where's this? No one's asking where these people are.
Yeah,
no one's asking for you. Do you know what I mean? So how can you put a fight on pay-per-view that no one's even asking for?
Yeah,
no one's asking for either of you.
And the reason why I wanted to talk about this so much is because I'm genuinely worried about the state of boxing. I want to go on a sly monologue.
Well, I knew you were. That's why I got my tea and I got my yum nut, because I knew that you were going to rant. So I was just like, cool, let me get ready.
The reason why I'm genuinely wanted to talk about this is because, fam, I'm starting to think ESPN is out of boxing, Sky's out of boxing, TNT's out of boxing, Fox is out of boxing, Showtime's out of boxing, HBO's out of boxing. The market, Paramount just done the deal with
Zaffa.
With Zaffa, but we don't know what that means.
Yeah.
We don't know what that means. Netflix is only in boxing for
the big events.
The big event spectacles. That means on a weekly basis, you've got 100% market share. 100% market share.
You got Ben Shalom's with BBC.
And their headlines, flipping... what's their headline again? Clark versus who?
Hadley? Jamie TKV?
TKV. So, yeah. Let's ignore that. They've got 100% market share. So, when you have 100% market share, you could just do what you want. You could just... do what you want, and
like put on the Toma versus Franklin.
But that's not for pay-per-view though. And at least that's not that bad as a fight. That's a fight, innit? It's not for pay-per-view. They can do whatever they want to do. And why I'm saying it's so stupid is because when they do have fights that's worth investing in, they don't. Because next week we're getting a proper world title fight in Brian Norman Jr. versus Devin Haney. Bam Rodriguez in a unification again. Sam Noakes versus Abdullah Mason for a world title. He'll be the third. If he does win, he'll be the third or the one of three British champions right now.
Mm-hmm. And Anthony Benavidez.
And Anthony Benavidez, another guy fighting for a world title. Yeah. Where's the promotion, bro? Where is the promotion for that? Bro, they done a 40-minute face-off with them two and a 10-minute face-off with, or less, I don't even know, the face-off with Ben Norman Jr. and Devin Haney. Yep. And I'm like, bro, what's going on here? Brian
Norman Jr., who have just had knockout of the year. And Devin Haney, who was his freeweight champion and was the youngest undisputed champion in the world, yeah.
Benavidez, Anthony Yard. But this is proper boxing, bro. And what we're seeing is a massive oversight. Bro, I don't know what the zone are doing right now.
I coined the phrase cultural currency in boxing. And I said that I don't mind Saudi having some fights, especially if they're putting money in. But the fights that are culturally significant to a particular marketplace, let's say, for example, Tyson Fury versus AJ, that can't be in Saudi. It's got to be in the UK, even if it makes you slightly less money. Or if you've got...
But next weekend, bro.
If you've got Shakur fighting Teofimo, both from the East Coast, that can't be in Saudi. That can't be in Saudi. We're being robbed of a great fight. The atmosphere...
But you even said South versus...
Yeah, and then to a lesser extent, Brian Norman Jr. is from Atlanta. We don't have a lot of great fighters right now from the South, especially black fighters from the South. We've got some good Latin fighters from the South, but not necessarily black fighters. Devin Haney's from the West Coast. Do you know what I mean? You put that
from Oakland.
He's from California.
Yeah, California.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? You put that fight on in Vegas, and you've got all the South that would come out. You've got all the California. You know, that's a Vegas fight.
That is a Vegas fight. And the promotion, the missed promotional opportunities, how they haven't got Bill Haney and Brian Norman Jr.'s dad on a head-to-head, I don't understand. How they didn't get millions worth a game.
$1 million worth of game.
$1 million worth of game doing a face-off.
But this is what I said about this is what I said about cultural currency. They actually, especially like these cards are run by the Saudis. Who from Saudi Arabia knows who the fuck $1 million worth of game are? Who in their team could even suggest that? Do you know what I'm saying? Like if we were going to do like, I don't know, like a baller league type of football type event, South London versus, but they didn't even know where the West London football pitches are. They don't understand the history of West Side or they don't know. They're not plugged into this. This is the part that people miss. People in boxing focus so much on the top level and they miss so much of the grassroots. You look at Bam Rodriguez and the Reynoso camp, there's some great fighters in there. Bam Rodriguez and...
No, you mean the Robert Garcia?
Robert Garcia camp. You've got Bam Rodriguez, you've got Virgil, etc. But there's some good grassroots level boxers coming through as well. So we're missing a lot of this.
I don't understand. You've got a white British fighter, you've got a black British fighter, you've got a Mexican in Benavidez and a Mexican in Bam Rodriguez, you've got...
Black American.
A black American in Abdullah Mason...
and two black Americans
from East Coast.
Yeah,
you got black American from
West Coast, black American from the
South. Bro, you've got literally a cocktail of culture that you can exploit, and you put the fight in Saudi, bro. Yeah. What's going on here?
Yeah.
You've
got some of the big names in American boxing. That card should be in America. Fair enough. We won't get to see Sam Noakes fight for a world title in this country. Fair enough, we won't get to see Anthony Yard. But then fair enough, we won't see Anthony Yard in this country. But one, we can travel to America fairly easily.
Which we do often.
Like the countries have a good relationship. But also like the amount of Americans that would sell to. You got all the Latin fans. Literally. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, it's a massive mistake. This card in Vegas would go off.
Facts, bro.
This card in Vegas would go off. The Brits would want to go and drink and gamble and get fucked up.
What are you doing in flipping Saudi? What is this fight doing in Saudi? And then the whole promotion has been shocking, bro.
Yeah.
Promotion's been absolutely shit.
But it's been non-existent.
Yeah. And
bro, this is the best card of the year.
Facts.
This is the best card of the year.
What-
and
yeah.
there's no... I'm trying to think, who's a better card than this?
Beterbiev Bivol 2 was a good card, but I don't think it was better than this.
When was that, February?
February.
Yeah.
That had Joseph Parker Bacoli on it, but it was supposed to
It'd be Dubois.
Dubois.
Yeah.
It had Lyndon Arthur,
Yeah, I remember Lyndon Arthur fought, yeah.
Anthony Yard.
Yeah. Anthony Yard on the 2 best cards of the year, by the way. Shout out to him.
Shout out to Anthony Yard.
Who else was on that card?
No. Wait. When was
I think it was-
Callum Smith?
I think that might have been that card. Let me see. Let me check.
Regardless, that's definitely one of the best cards.
Yeah.
That card, the Beterbiev Bivol 2 was a good card. That's 1. Was that 2?
I think this is 2.
Yeah. Who's in the card?
Let's have a look.
Some Shakur Stevenson in 4. What's it called?
Yeah, Shakur Stevenson, Floyd Schofield, but Floyd Schofield pulled out.
Yeah.
Oh, this was the card that was meant to be the best card,
Yeah,
but it kind of died. Buatsi, Callum Smith.
Yeah.
To be fair, this card, yeah, it's either this one or this one. But I think the quality for this one is higher across the board.
I agree.
But this one's got more fights. So you had Buatsi versus Callum Smith that opened it, which is a crazy opener.
Facts.
Zhang versus Kabayel. Again, Zhang was disappointing, but on paper it was a great fight.
Facts.
Virgil versus Madrimov was a good fight. Carlos Adamas, Hamza Shiraz. That didn't age very well. That was a robbery, but it aged well because he smashed up Belanga. Schofield pulled out as we kind of knew that he would. Padley stepped in, and then Dubois pulled out, and Bacoli stepped in.
Yeah.
Had this card gone according to plan, this would have been the card of the year.
Card. Facts.
And this was also in Saudi. But maybe this is what they're doing. This is obviously, we're seeing the 2 best cards of the year are taken to Saudi. So they're going to take the big fights.
Facts.
So I don't know what that does for British fans. If you are a British boxing fan, is there a concern?
Maybe.
But this was I was going to say, like, is there a concern that, okay, we might get AJ Fury if you're one of the British fans that's not gone off that idea already? But does it concern you at all that fight, from the looks of things, will probably not be in the UK?
Or if it is, the undercard's going to be shit.
Or the undercard's going to have to be terrible.
Which we've seen terrible undercards recently. But
We saw the undercard for Dubois, Usyk was shit.
yeah, facts. It could be a case. If that's the case, then, and we're seeing fights like this in Saudi where you're getting all of those guys over, then I think Saudi think less about the promotion. They care less about the promotion
Yeah.
because
But you said that from when you went. You said there was no... When you go to a boxing match around the world, like there's... I know you're talking about like the promotion from a digital perspective and
that's
not
what
the
I meant,
fight
that's what I
week.
meant, that's what
But
I
I'm just saying, I feel like it's a symptom. To me, I notice patterns in behaviour. Not having a good fight week tells me you're not in touch with what the fans want from a fan
But
experience.
then what's the benefit? This is a different question.
No, what's the benefit to Saudi of taking these cards? Because it does nothing for you. I agree. That's what you're gonna. But we know these men are fucking crooks. We will never know in our lifetime. This is like the Saudi Arabian government and the Saudi Arabian sports washing thing is like Area 51 to me. We will never know the truth of what these people actually get and gain from a tangible perspective. It does not. All this nonsense of it promotes the country and makes people want to go there. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't.
It doesn't.
It literally doesn't. Do you mean? I'm going to talk more about Saudi on the OnlyFacts Extra. We're going to be discussing the poppy and some other stuff. Saudi comes up in that conversation as well. But I'm saying it don't make any sense.
At first to me, I thought it was. Because when the rappers were going over there and all of that, I thought it was like, you know what? Maybe it was like these men are just rich, so they just want these men to come over and entertain me.
Yeah, that's what it used to be, because I was hearing that like 50 Cent performed for like the royal family for like 20 mil just in their house, something ridiculous.
But with the boxing thing, why it's different is because they're doing this on a regular basis. And
I just thought something else, go on.
Even though they're doing this on in fact, say what you're going to say, because I'm not going to
If you are going to try to rehabilitate your image on the global stage, the image that people have of you as Saudis is that you have loads of money and you think you can boss people around. A great way you could have rehabilitated your image is by not behaving like that. Instead, you've behaved exactly like the stereotype. It's like if Jamaica set up a party and invited everyone from around the world to rehabilitate their image and all everyone did is fucking smoke weed and drink Red Stripe. That wouldn't help your image.
Fact.
This is reinforcing more of the same image.
Fact.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, so you've come into boxing and moved exactly how we'd expect a Saudi brother to move.
But that's why I said, if you look, remember this time last year when I came back from Saudi, I told you, look, that it's Mandingo fighting over there. And obviously some people didn't like it. People DM'd me, obviously, that guy that DM'd me. He stopped DMing me, by the way.
He knew not to DM me, blood. This would have gone bad very quick.
But it was genuinely because I understood that this is what rich white people used to do. They used to have these
rich people are rich people. I'll be telling, man.
You know what I'm saying? And they just get these people to fight for them.
Yeah.
But now it's becoming even more perplexing because I'm like, you're doing this on a consistent basis.
Yeah.
You don't even mind if the room's empty, the building's empty.
Yeah.
You're not doing this to improve the image of...
It's like a control thing. You're now just doing it because you can.
Literally.
We could almost understand Calvin Candy and Django treating his Mandingos terribly, but for a profit. But treating Mandingos terribly not for a profit is even worse. There's no profit to be made from it.
But I'm starting to feel like when you look at the owners who own like football teams.
Yeah.
And I'm like, they own football teams, but at one stage I thought, they're doing it because they want to improve the name of their country again, like, you know. But it's not even that.
No.
Bro, I genuinely do not feel like they're trying to improve their image of Saudi at all.
Some people,
nothing to do with that at all.
Some people who are not me would say, or could suggest, or the point could be put forwards that they used to have a lot of their money in oil, and some of their oil is running out, and oil is being discovered in other parts of the world, like, for example, Guyana. And so the stronghold they have on that isn't great. They don't have any exports. And so some people who are not me could make the argument that they're taking a lot of their dodgy, illegal blood money from funding wars and Middle Eastern governments and different things like that and filtering that money back through the Western system. I wouldn't make that argument. I personally wouldn't. I wouldn't make that argument. But that is an argument some people might put forward. Some people might point to the fact that they are the biggest, that country buys more guns from America and Britain than anybody else, despite the fact that they don't have a military. So where are those guns go? I wouldn't make the argument that they were giving those guns to other countries in the region and backing military groups. I'm not making that argument. But some people would make that argument.
Facts. Facts.
Because bro, if this was in any other country with a proper government, like if I'm driving down the road right now and I've got a podcast with 2,600 subscribers and I'm driving a range, the police might stop me and say, where are you going with that range? How did you fund this range? Do you know what I'm saying? What money did you use to, do you know what I'm saying? So, but we don't do this for other people.
Yeah, facts.
Do you mean? Where's all the money coming from? Where's all the money going? Where's all the, do you know what I'm saying? Because like you say, it's this idea is, we're boosting tourism and this and that. What are you talking about?
No.
What are you talking about?
No, we're not.
Still no hotels. Still
there is no way you boost tourism like this.
No.
There's no way you boost tourism. How are you boosting tourism?
You're taking fights from people who are known not to travel.
I was just about to say that. I'm just about to say that. You're taking...
The stereotype of Latin Americans is that they like just about... The stereotype, super racist stereotype of Latin Americans, that they just about get across the border from Mexico to America or from Puerto Rico's American territory, but just into America. They're not traveling Saudi.
Facts. And bro,
lots of these people don't have passports.
Most Americans don't even have a passport.
Yeah.
So that's definitely not the case. Most black people don't even travel to other states.
Yeah. I met a black couple in Dom Rep, and I told you this, and the woman was an army brat, so her dad was based in Germany, so she traveled Europe a lot, and she was saying to me, please talk to my husband about Europe, because he doesn't believe there's any black communities in Europe. So I was telling him about the black people in the Netherlands and about black people in London and Birmingham. He was like, I'll think about it, but he was like, listen, I'm from New York, there's black people in New York, I'm not going nowhere, there's no black people. Do you know what I'm saying? I go to the Caribbean on holiday, or I'm in New York. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm not going nowhere, I don't travel to Missouri, I'm not on it. Do you know what I'm saying? He's like, when I watch The Crown and all that kind of stuff, and I'm not traveling to England, I'm not going to England for beans on toast, I'm not on it.
Tell him to watch Top Boy.
Do you know what I'm saying? But that's not going to make him want to come here. Do you know what I'm saying? But like, that's the level of ignorance we're dealing with. And he is very symptomatic of a large portion of that community. And even if they do travel, Americans, a lot of Americans, I'm talking about a lot of white Americans, but a lot of Americans generally are quite enamored with Europe. That's where the white founding fathers come from, and Europe is quite small and clustered. So if they travel Europe, they'll travel all of Europe. They won't come to England for a month. They'll come to England for like a week, and then they'll travel around and all that kind of stuff, which makes sense. They are not traveling often to the Middle East.
No.
And certainly not to Saudi.
And culturally,
It's
People
not.
don't
Yeah.
even want to go Saudi.
Yeah.
Who wants to, like,
Yeah.
genuinely?
What landmarks are in Saudi? What can you do in Saudi? Like,
Unless you're
what's there?
Muslim and
Yeah.
you want to go for Mecca, I understand that pilgrimage and that.
Yeah.
But if
Foolishness.
I don't see the other benefit of why you would go to Saudi, bro.
Yeah.
If you're a middle-aged, I don't even think Saudi people want people in their country, bro. Like, you really want a bunch of pub man going there you can't drink?
Yeah.
They ain't gonna be spending no money in your premises, bro. Where are they going there for? Bro?
Yeah.
Like, culturally, it's so different. You really want, like, could you imagine?
Can't gamble.
Could you imagine, like, a bunch of ratchet black people in Saudi?
To do what?
To do what, bro?
Yeah.
Like, gal over there have to cover up.
Yeah.
In where Devon's from or wherever.
Yeah.
Them man are wearing batty riders.
Yeah,
bro.
100%.
How's that gonna work?
100%. But there you go. So the zone is looking like it's in a shambles. We're happy that we're getting the card on November 22nd. We're going to be live this Saturday for Eubank Benn. We're going to be live for the big card. We're going to cover the whole card as well on the 22nd of November. So there are a couple of big cards, but I think we do feel that we're being robbed of. And we're seeing it in the performances as well. Some of the performances we're seeing are quite flat. The environment is flat.
And I think
the spectacle is flat.
They're starting to flex right now. They're starting to flex because they're currently the only broadcaster in the game.
Yeah. I mean, you look at like the moment, not that we would have been robbed of that moment when Eubank got out of the car, but some of these iconic moments, some of the fighting moments. The ring card girls is not as essential, but I don't mind them not having ring card girls, but having the celebrity lookalike doubles is weird. Like if they just had a normal board that just went up and that was fine. Because that's
That whole entire card was a floppage.
What card was that?
The Times Square card.
Yeah. That was
a whole flop. That
was weird.
Was a flop.
It was weird, but there's a whole environment and culture around boxing that they're doing away with slowly. Do you know what I mean? And we're going to see that with Zafar. We're seeing that with the crazy weight jumps, and of course we're seeing that with fights going off to Saudi in the first place. Andrew Tate.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
He's going to be fighting in Misfits. I don't know how long we've been recording for. Can you see? Can you have a look?
Yeah, good.
How long?
52 minutes.
Okay, cool. Andrew Tate's going into Misfits.
Yeah.
He looks like he's taking it seriously. He's going to fight Chase Demore.
Did you see?
He looked, he had bruises and stuff like that. But it looked like he was having But remember, he's like I don't want to disrespect kickboxers, but he's a trained kickboxer. And I think that that means that obviously you can hit more of the body than just the face. I don't think he's a trained boxer like that. Obviously, kickboxing's close to boxing. It's
very different.
It's closer than jiu-jitsu, I'm saying. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's the closest you're going to get. You're going to get hit in the face more than other disciplines.
I think kickboxing really, like, when you look at the stances for kickboxing,
you can see he's a kickboxer though, because he stands with a really wide leg stance and kind of bounces he looks like a kickboxer, but he can. They're throwing punch technique. When I've been on the bag with Ricky, who does Muay Thai, punch technique was horrible. So I was just like, that if you tried to throw a punch at me, you wouldn't land. You could not land a punch on me. Do you know what I mean? Because of punch technique, but they think about punching differently.
Yeah, of course.
And then obviously they've got the elbows and the knees, and it's different.
For them, it's like they also have to defend themselves from kicks.
Yeah.
So, like, even the way I see, because I've seen Andrew Tate teach boxing to people, and I'm like, I understand why you're teaching it that way, because
he's not even teaching boxing. He's teaching kickboxing without the kicking.
Yeah,
that's
literally what it is. So I'll be interested to see how it goes. I mean,
I think he'll smash the guy he's going to fight, because he's fighting the light skinned guy I showed you, Chase Demore, the one that's got that clip of him he's just. Do you know what I mean, that big lap? But people say he's got better, but in the world of Misfits, that don't really count for much. I'll be surprised if Andrew Tate doesn't absolutely kill this guy. And I also think that from a pride perspective, and I hate talking about this because boxing is not down to people's pride, it's down to how skilled you are. But from a pride perspective, Andrew Tate is like known as this super alpha male. I got loads of money, I get loads of girls, I run businesses, successful, all that kind of stuff. But especially not to this guy. If he got knocked out to Anthony Joshua, that's Anthony Joshua, 2-time heavyweight champion of the world, fair enough. This is a random brother. Do you know what I'm saying? There's a reason why Tate is in Misfits and not in professional boxing for obvious reasons. Do you know what I mean?
I wonder what Tate's looking to gain out of this.
Money.
You think so?
Yeah.
How much money do you reckon he's getting paid for something like this?
Well, there was that announcement. Obviously, we spoke to Rance about this, but there was that announcement that he's like the new KSI, and KSI is being kicked from Misfits. I'm sure it's the WWE type of narrative they're spinning, but Rance reckons that it's real, and KSI weren't fighting and was taking too long to get to the big fights and whatever. So the money in this, if he's moving in not just as a fighter, but moving in at like an executive type of level, the money will be very long. It will be in the tens of millions.
Well, then fair enough.
Do you know what I mean? Because he'll move. I could see Tate having 1 or 2 fights to establish himself as someone who knows what he's talking about, but then moving more towards like a CEO. He'll be like the Turkey Al Sheikh of Misfits. Do you know what I mean? And the money will be long for that type of situation. And then later down the line, it'll be Tate versus KSI at some point.
It's good though for him because his audience is the Misfits audience.
Yeah, for sure. They're social media people. They probably never watched, Pernell Whitaker fight.
A lot of these kids, they love Andrew Tate. You know what I'm saying? Like, kids love Andrew Tate.
And like I say, it's a way of it. Remember, Andrew Tate makes money from selling courses online. I don't know if you knew that he did that. Yeah. He teaches, like, young men how to be men, allegedly, in his weird way. I don't know who buys a course from this brother, but whatever. But if you are of that ilk, him going in and beating someone in a boxing match that reinforces this confirmation. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's low level, but like you say, you're talking to an unsophisticated audience. Right. We could all get fights with people at a very low level, put it on YouTube and make ourselves look really good. But I can't beat Yard in a boxing match. Do you know what I mean? I can beat the local guy and I can make him look silly, but there's levels for a reason. Do you know what I mean? Facts. So that's what it is. But yeah, I think from a business perspective, it makes sense.
Does make sense. I mean, I don't know what it means long term. What does it mean long term for?
I'm sure there'll be some fight with him and KSI down the line.
Who would you want to see him? Would you want to see him fight KSI?
I don't think that there's any influencer that I want to see fight. I don't care enough. There's nothing.
I have to think hard about this. Is there any influence that I would actually want to see fight each other? Is there any friction that I think is worth? Yeah, that would be
the only friction that I see that I might. This is toxic of me actually, and I'm going against myself in my pro-black stance here. But if there's like real tension, I don't mind it being settled in a real way. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? But can you? I'm not saying any names, but do man have the ego? And anyway, I'm talking about if it's like a rapper type situation. Yeah, but do man have the ego to let it just to leave that there? Probably not.
Probably not.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you got man in your ends and I got man in my ends that are running around trying to shoot each other. I would rather man settle that in a boxing ring. Yeah. But the way these men are programmed, whoever wins, there's going to be it's just going to spark a new beef. Man will not be able to swallow that pause and just leave it as is.
Andrew Tate. Who does this guy have a war with?
Maybe Jake Paul? I don't follow social media enough to know.
Neither. It's difficult. Yeah, I don't follow this guy enough to
I like to see Myron Gaines get into a boxing ring. Because I was want to see him get pieced up because he talks so much about all them guys that talk about I'm 6'2", I'm a masculine man, I am what this is men, this is what being a masculine man means. Like, people that chat like that, I just think it'd be interesting.
Gaines could never tell me that he's a masculine man, bro.
Nah, he wears some skinny jeans and boots.
Nah, bro, this guy went on big YouTube and said, or something to my, he said, women can't do anything better than a man, and he was debating women about that. Any man who can say that to me, bro, me and you don't speak the same language. Bro.
Yeah, that's a jailable offence in Jamaica.
Facts.
That's a jailable offence.
Jailable offence in Jamaica.
100%.
That is what Sizzler and Capleton sing about.
100%. 100%. For them, yeah, all of that. Do you know what I'm saying? So, but he's a suspect character anyway. But
bro,
Myron actually has beef with like real genuine beef with like the Abba and Preach guys that I always show you. Preach the bigger one. I think I think Myron is really rude about his miss. This came back like 2 years or something like that. And I think he's really rude about his wife, and he did say like, yeah, let's settle it in the ring. I think Preach used to do kickboxing or something. He said, yeah, let's settle it in the ring. Yeah, let's do that.
Nah, bro, you say something about
So yeah, I think that I wouldn't mind seeing that.
Yeah, probably.
That'd be something I would want to see. But apart from that, I can't think of it. Well, but let us know. You lot let us know.
Yeah, let us know who you guys want to get. You
lot, if you're following this channel, you're probably more tapped in with social media than.
Yeah.
Because all the channels, I'll be honest, I've seen Shane's YouTube. He follows mad random channels about are aliens real? Yeah. All kinds of stuff. I follow mad stuff about like art, history, poetry, pro-blackness, all that.
I watch bare like. I'm heavy into astronomy still. I love astronomy.
Astronomy?
Yeah.
Sorry, I got mixed up with astrology. Apologies. I should take that back.
I'm heavy into.
Are you into astrology?
Not really. No.
Okay, fine.
Astronomy.
Okay.
I'm into astronomy.
Fair enough. The last thing you wanted to talk about before we wrap, like the video, subscribe, road to 5K, all that good stuff. You wanted to talk about England.
Yeah, facts.
This is your topic. You take it away, wherever you want to go with this, because I think that...
Well, no. The issue is International Week, right?
Yeah.
So we're talking about England's prospects of winning a World Cup. The next World Cup will be in America. And if we're being realistic...
It's actually going to be fucking nuts. But I was just thinking about everything's happening to Trump and ICE and all that. These men, they're like immigrants. They're going to be bad immigrants descending next summer. Yeah, it's actually going to be crazy. But yeah.
Trust me. And I was looking at the teams within the World Cup, and I was like, and I know you personally have a different opinion because you think it's a general thing. Once England has a semi-decent team, they're instantly favourites every single time.
I don't think that. That is a fact.
Yeah.
And it's a fact across multiple sports.
100%.
Do you know what I'm saying? So
I don't know if you know this, but recently England's going to play Australia in the Ashes, and they'll be like, oh yeah, England definitely should win it. Like they've just been writing off Australia like they just didn't win the World Cup.
Yeah.
But it is what it is.
There you go. Shout out to the Caribbean cricket.
Oh yeah, shout out to CCP.
Yeah, shout out to CCP as well. Yeah, you're talking about England and their chances this year.
Their chances of winning the World Cup next year.
Yeah.
And I actually look at their team in comparison. I actually think they probably have. I would actually make them favourites going into the next World Cup.
What are you basing that on?
I would say this is the first time England... Now, performance recently has been shocking. Their performance recently has been real bad.
You're backing away from your own argument already. Nothing's even happened. No one's even put a counter argument. You're already falling apart.
Let me land my point.
All right, go on then.
When I look at how England's performed in recent World Cups, and they always get this favourable route to the final. I don't know how, but they always get this favourable route to the final. I feel like this year, this time around, they actually will go all the way.
All the way to where?
To win the World Cup. I feel like they should be favourites going into the World Cup.
This doesn't even sound, for people that are watching the podcast, this doesn't even sound believable that you believe this, but it's only because we had the argument before that I know that you do believe this.
I think on paper, England should be winning the World Cup. On paper.
What's the problem with that?
Football's
not played on paper, and it wasn't played on the paper in the 60s or the 70s or the 80s. Football's never been played on paper.
But when they got to the final against Spain, they played horrible football as well. They played horrible football.
Yeah.
But they managed to get to the final against Spain. They managed to get to the final against Italy. They managed to get to the semi-final against France. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, they managed... Was it France? Or Croatia? Whatever. When Kane missed that penalty, was that not semi-final?
Yeah, I think it might have been Croatia.
No, when Kane missed the penalty against France.
Oh, it's France, yeah.
Was that in the semi-final? I'm pretty sure that's...
Semi or quarter.
And then they went to the semi-finals against Croatia and lost.
Yeah.
Like, they always go far, but this time they actually have a world-class manager and a team that I think is currently in their prime. What are you looking at me for, bro?
I think you're overgassing it.
You think so?
Yeah. They got Jordan Pickford in goal. Weak.
Very weak. But they've had Jordan Pickford in goal for the last few World Cups, bro.
Okay, but I'm saying you said on paper. On paper. Who's the in fact, let's do who's your starting 11?
He'll be my starting 11 and what the starting 11 that Tuchel will play.
Either or.
If it's me, if you're asking me what
whatever best supports your argument, which is already flailing.
If you're asking me what my starting 11 would be, obviously it would be Pickford in goal. What it might be.
Who's playing right back?
I don't know if it's going to be Pickford or Pope. I don't know.
Who's playing right back?
Right back will be Reece James.
Okay, if you can stay fit.
If you can stay fit, but then it'll be Trent.
Who are your centre backs?
Trent.
If it's Trent, it's weak. That's already weak.
No, I think Trent's a good player, bro.
I didn't say he's not a good player, but he's not the best right back. Defensively for cup football, he's not the best right back. He's great at doing what he does, but we're going to be playing super attacking teams in knockout football. I think Trent will be a liability, and Reece James is can he stay fit? Who are your centre backs?
Our centre backs personally will be Guy and what I think is not going to be what's going to happen.
He's going to play Stones, but who would your centre back be?
Probably Guy and Stones.
Okay.
Guy and Stones. Obviously, Constance was good last time around, but I don't know if...
Is that better than Saliba and Mapakano?
No chance.
Okay.
No chance.
Okay.
But here's the...
Okay, I'm just asking. Okay, who's your left back? which is probably the weakest area of the
The
team.
weakest area of the team.
Yeah.
That is going to be tough. That is going to be tough. That's probably the toughest part because I don't think there's any left. I mean,
I think there's two good left backs for the England team. Tino Livramento from Newcastle, very very good, or obviously Lewis Skelly, but it's between those two.
I don't think he's going to play neither of them.
Probably not. Who do you play left back?
No, he's gonna bring. No, he's gonna play. He will. I really don't know. I was thinking whether he would have played Shaw because Shaw plays every.
Shaw.
I don't like him. But
See
he
that?
always makes it to the England team. He always makes it to the England team.
See that?
He always makes it to the England team.
You see that? You see. If Luke Shaw plays for England, that's why. That's why I can't wear the poppy. That's why I can't clap for the NHS. That's why I can't. No, big man, Luke Shaw.
I wouldn't play him. But I would probably play.
This brother's on job seekers allowance for 10 months a year, and then turns up.
Every season,
He does this every time it's an international tournament. He did this for the last international tournament, and then he'll be sick for 2 years, and he'll get paid. Man like Luke Shaw. Is Luke Shaw better than Theo Hernandez?
No, of course not.
Okay, cool. So I'm just looking at one team. I'm just looking at France. I'm just looking at France.
No, but the reason.
So the back five is already not better than France.
Can I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
Can I ask you a question?
Okay.
When did France go in the last Euros? 2 years ago.
I know where
Was
they
it last year?
Where'd they go?
I'm asking.
I don't know.
That back four was the same back four last year.
No, it wasn't. Saliba wasn't in the team.
Saliba was in the team last year, bro. Last season, Saliba was in the team in the Euros.
That doesn't fit my narrative, so.
Last year, Saliba was in the team, bro.
Okay, cool. I'm just saying, when it's Arsenal, people use the excuse that the player. I know you're going to say Tuchel's better manager than Arteta, but people will say that the team doesn't have the experience of winning things. This team at least has the experience of winning things.
But when you had that team went to the World Cup, the final of the Euros, France didn't.
I understand.
That's
this also. That's one point to you. But much of this France team has the experience of actually winning the World Cup.
100%.
Winning the World Cup.
100%.
So that's 1 point. That should be 2 points to me. Where you go? No, don't go in mine. Okay. That's 2 points to me.
Yeah. 2 points to you.
Who's in attack? Who's your front three?
For me, my front three would probably be Saka has to play.
Of course.
The maddest thing is it would be so difficult to find the right balance because I probably would have to play a formation which would mean Saka and Palmer have to play as in like two men behind the front man, behind Kane.
So you can play narrow?
Yeah. And then I would probably play 5 in the back and get my width all the way up. And
5 in the back?
Trent in wing back. I would probably...
Trent wing back?
Yeah, 100%. Were you going to play Trent or Trent right back? Probably not.
He's won trophies at right back.
But
as a back four.
I'm talking about...
So your front three is Palmer, Kane, and Saka.
100%.
Is that better than Mbappe, Hugo Ekitike? Who have you got in the 10? Or you're not playing 10?
I'm playing two now.
Oh, okay, fine. Okay, fine. Ugh. What a shit comparison as well. Why say United? Say anyone else.
What other team plays with two? And
just try and paint me a picture. Try and paint me a picture of good football.
Our front three is actually good.
You're using Amorim tactics to win the World Cup. That's what I'm saying. It is. It is. Yes, it is. It's a back five. It's a back five. You're playing a back five with the 2 10s. Yes, it is Amorim football. No, who's your midfield?
I'll probably play a double pivot of Bellingham and Rice.
Okay. The midfield's good.
And the front three's good as well.
The front three's good, but I'll just say, I'm just looking at front. What's
France front three? Mbappe?
It's front four because I'm going to put the 10 in there as well, but it's Coman, Elise, Ekitike, and Mbappe. That's a rude front four.
I'll take England's front three over that.
You're a crack.
I'm taking Kane over Ekitike. I'm taking Saka. Who's right? Who's right?
Mbappe's up top. Coman and Ekitike are both out wide.
Mbappe ain't playing up front.
He plays up front.
Bro.
He plays up front.
I'm taking Kane over Mbappe up front. Up front.
I'm not arguing with you.
I'm taking Palmer over Coleman and I'm taking Saka over Ekitike. Which one are you disagreeing with? Which one are you disagreeing?
I'm thinking. If I'm playing wide as a left winger, Ekitike over because I'm looking at Palmer as a 10. I'm looking at Palmer as a 10. I understand. Yeah, I understand. We're talking about for France. I'm talking about for international duty. He'll play wide.
Yeah, go on.
So Palmer and Elise. More of a conversation. I'm probably leaning slightly towards Michael Elise just because he's a better ball carrier. Palmer's a better. Palmer's a better goal scorer.
I'm taking Palmer over Elise.
His lisp is too strong to communicate on the pitch. That's the problem. He might think he can't communicate on the pitch.
Saka and who? Saka.
Oh, so, no, Saka's overcome. Saka's in. What are we talking about? Mbappe versus Kane.
As a striker. As a striker.
I understand. It depends on how you're going to play because Kane doesn't have any pace. So if we're super advanced and we're putting crosses into the box, Kane's an elite number 9. But if we're playing balls in behind, if we're playing balls in behind, we need the pace of Kylian Mbappe. But Kane's a superior player, 100%.
If Saka's narrow, he's naturally on his left foot.
If he's narrow, yeah.
I don't think this formation is going to be the formation that plays.
We just wasted everybody's time on this podcast.
Whatever, but I'm just saying on paper, bro. You
on paper,
it's off England's chances.
I'm not writing it off. I'm saying that English people overgas their talent. They overgas their talent. They overgas their talent in boxing. They overgas their government. They overgas their country. They overgas everything.
I don't even want England to win. But that's a whole.
Who's supporting in the World Cup?
Brazil, bro. All the time. Brazil's always been my favorite team.
I'm supporting Jamaica.
Jamaica hasn't made it yet. They haven't qualified.
I'll support them if they're at home.
If Jamaica qualify, I'm going to one of the games. You know?
Yeah, for sure.
If Jamaica qualify, I'm going to one of the games still.
Spain's midfield: Pedri, Zubamendi, Marino. That's a good midfield.
That's a good midfield.
That's a good midfield.
If Rodri gets,
it's such an industrious. Do you know what it is? It's a deceivingly good midfield because on paper, I know Zubamendi and Marino have been playing okay for Arsenal, but on paper, you're looking at Zubamendi. He's not like a superstar. Marino's not a superstar.
If Rodri gets back fit, Rodri's in that midfield, isn't it? If Rodri gets back to what he was, and then even Olmo, he was still.
Danny Olmo is in there as well. Then you got the front three. You got Nico Williams and Yamal as the two wingers.
I'm still taking.
We don't have a left winger. You're saying England don't have a dedicated left back or a dedicated left winger.
The left side's really.
The left side of Spain is Cucurella, Pedri, and Nico Williams. Mm-hmm. The left side of France is Teo Hernandez, which is elite.
He's mad. And
you can, for the sake of your argument, we put Hugo Ekitike up top. You say it's Teo Hernandez and then Mbappe. That's peak. That's his peak, bruv. And their weak side is Gusto and Coman. That's their weak side.
No, but I don't rate Coman anyway.
Nah, Coman's a player.
I don't even think Coman will play. I don't even think Coman will start. I'm not sure. He could though.
Fair enough. These are friendlies, but and then as a 9, if you wanted to shake things up a little bit, they've got. If you want to target 9, they've got Mateta on the bench.
Their midfield is good as well.
Their midfield's very good, bro. They've got Kefren Turam and Rabiot.
Yeah, I mean,
who else is it? This is just based off of how people have been playing in the friendlies, international friendlies.
I'll still take.
Who else would you say is like a top rival for England? Would you say?
Well, Argentina. They're going to be in the World Cup. Portugal's going to have a strong team. Portugal just won Portugal just won the Nations League.
Yeah.
Portugal will be in there as well. Portugal will cause a lot of problems.
Portugal, Nuno Mendes, Ruben Diaz, Cancelo, and João Neves.
Mendes is probably the best defender in world football right
now. And they have a midfield of Vitinha, Bruno, Bernardo Silva, Ruben Neves, and then they've got their attack's kind of meaty, Pedro Neto and Ronaldo. It's a bit meh, but
they've got Leao if he's come back fit as well.
They've got João Felix on the bench.
If Leao's fit, he will play as well.
Was that noise?
But me when I work in witchcraft, yeah, bro.
What was that, bro? Bro, you hear that? Bro, I'm the bro. This is Stranger Things blood, bro. Bro, nah, we might have to wrap this shit up. England's bagging Judge. These guys said they won't win the World Cup. This is what they're doing. Nah, bro. This is mad, bro. That's crazy, bro. Yeah, we're being haunted, bro. But yeah, I'm not saying that England can't win it. I'm just saying we have regularly seen England have top 3 best teams. Not regularly. Regularly, I'm overselling it. But we've seen England have top 3, top 5 best teams going into tournaments and still not won things. So them having the best team does not tell me they could win something.
No, facts. But this is the first time they've had, I would arguably say, probably one of the best managers. Going into this World Cup, you could easily say they have top 5 best managers in the tournament.
When was the last time England had a manager that played attacking football? Because before this, they had Allardyce for the one game. that didn't work. That didn't work. He had obviously they've had Southgate for a long time. Allardyce has a 100% record.
Yeah, of course.
He's had the gambling thing.
They had,
Hodgson before that. Did they have Stuart?
Hollywood and Bolly, Steve McLaren.
Yeah.
Obviously,
Sven.
Capello,
not very attacking.
Capello, not very attacking.
He's defensive. He's Italian as well.
Italian manager, so he kind of was quite restricted.
So it's not just Tuchel is an elite manager. I'm not saying he's not, but the excitement is that they have a manager that you think will actually unlock the attacking players 100%. Rather than like it doesn't have to be elite necessarily, but just someone that's just going to say let's go and attack.
Facts.
Yeah.
And I feel like we always talk about squad depth. You think about players that we didn't mention that will probably end up going.
Yeah.
You know, you think about people like Eze, he's probably going to end up going if he has...
Eze, Morgan Rogers, Anthony Gordon, I think, should be playing a big shout. I think Anthony Gordon potentially could be in that starting left wing position for me.
Facts.
There's a big argument about Jack Grealish, whether he goes. Not for me,
but he's had a good season for Everton.
He's had a good season for Everton now. I mean, I could have a good season for Everton. You've got Madueke in there. Like you said, Ezra Konsa. Yeah. Defensively, we've got Dan Burn in there, having a great Dan Burns in there. Morgan Gibbs White's in there.
Defender I'm missing out as well. Defender United was going to buy. What's his name?
Defender United we're going to buy. From you were always going to buy someone. Rashford is in there with a shout again. We're just having this same Rashford cycle, but
I actually wouldn't be against Rashford.
No, I'm not against him going. I'm just saying, like, you know, there's no nailed on left winger, but there's options. I would start Gordon, but I would have Rashford to come off the bench. Quite kind of similar, but different in certain ways. Jared Bowen's having a good season.
It's also the fact that it's in the World Cup.
Yeah.
And I feel like when Rashford is a name that other teams look at, like even in Barcelona, we don't rate Rashford, you know, but Barcelona bought him.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? And if you hear all the way certain people in Barcelona talk about Rashford, you'd have thought this guy's in it. Like, I don't rate him. But some people rate him, bro.
Yeah.
And it's like, sometimes it puts fear in other people's team. I don't know.
All I know is they're playing Serbia tomorrow and Albania on Sunday, and I'm really hoping that they give Saka a rest because...
I hope Saka plays.
Hey, you're a fucking pussy. I
do want Arsenal.
I hope he gets rested. They've already qualified. They don't need to play their starting 11.
To win the league though. Liverpool can't win the league, so that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
You don't want to win the league. We ain't going to win it. Sunderland. Let's give Sunderland a run. Let's hope Sunderland.
Fuck Sunderland.
Sunderland, bro. What do you mean? They almost.
I know. Fuck Sunderland, bro.
They never almost beat you, but they gave you a good game still.
Yeah, I'm not interested in Sunderland still.
Shout out Sunderland. The stadium, I like them things.
Let's wrap this shit up, man.
Like the video.
Like the video, subscribe to the channel. I got to deal with the flipping gin that's in the building at the moment because I don't know what that was, bro. I want to actually just lock off the cameras and go and investigate, bro.
Nah, because you got a film.
Yeah, I know, but I'm going to lock off the cameras anyway. But yeah, like the video, subscribe to the channel. We are live on Saturday for the boxing. We're going to be live next week for the big card. Is it the big card next week?
Yeah, next week.
It is next week, yeah. Then we're live. We come back from international duty. Arsenal have Tottenham and then Bayern and then Chelsea. That run could be quite pivotal to what Arsenal's going to do, if anything, this season at all. We have 7 injuries. We've got not our whole attack, but other than Marino, Trossard and Saka, everyone else is injured. And they're all going away to international duty as well. Not Eze, but all the replacements for those positions are injured. Madueke's out injured, Martinelli's out injured, Gyökeres is out injured, Ødegaard's out injured. So we need these guys back. Then going into December, we've got Opataya's fighting, we've got Inoue fighting, so we've got all the boxing cards as well coming up. So
Africa card as well.
Are we doing the Africa card as well? I need to add that to the list.
There's a few fights you need to add to the list.
Yeah, I'll add them after this. But yeah, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and yeah, bro, peace and love every time. You know what it is.